went to a bike shop last year and I saw this flyer that said Oregon cyclist going to ride the Tour de France route. And I'm like, well, I got to meet this guy. And I met Keith Knowles. He did Tour 21 last year and was able to follow his journey. He was amazing what he did. And then I remember seeing a picture of Keith right before the start of the Tour 21 and then right after. And he looked like he'd aged about 15 years in 3 weeks. And I went, that looks horrible. And the next day I was sending an email going, hey, I'm interested. I'd like to apply to do this thing.
Word to mouth travels fast, especially when it's for a good cause. Lifelong bike rider Joe Dominey has been coasting on two wheels his whole life till his friend Keith helped give him a bigger purpose to participate in Tour 21 to raise money for leukemia drug trials.
So I ended up getting selected, and I was kind of off and running in terms of that, and it's just been something that it's been building and building, and I'm sitting here almost like stunned that in just a couple of days it actually is going to get started. And now I tell people that my big rear end has to cash the enormous check that my huge mouth wrote.
Each year, Tour 21 goes through 21 stages in Tour de France event to raise money for Cure Leukemia charity. Each stage is dedicated to writing for a certain person, and Joe has 2 stages that touch his heart, 12 and 16.
My stepson Josh had a friend by the name of Douglas Eberwine, and Douglas lost his battle with leukemia at age 16. And his dad is an avid cyclist and had climbed a mountain called Mont Ventoux. It turns out that stage 16, which was the age Douglas passed, we're also riding Mont Ventoux. Same way with like stage 12 for my mom. My mom was a Catholic nun who ended up leaving the order, and then, met my dad, and I came along, and stage 12 goes through Lourdes, and my mom and I went to Lourdes together, and that's a huge place in the Catholic faith. So it's kind of almost like a couple of things just clicked into place and said, okay, you should be doing this.
The event starts June 28th and wraps up July 20th. Joe's goal is to raise $40,000 to fight leukemia, but despite his large task, he's set on riding all the way through and finishing the job.
This whole thing isn't a race. It's about, raising money. It's about completing the thing, but it's also, I want to honor the people who are struggling and battling against leukemia by giving my best effort, and the people who've donated, I owe it to them to give everything I have.